So they made another song. Benji, Cosmo D, and his family. His wife, his brother-in-law, his wife, etc. They made a song called Jam On Revenge. Now, the irony is they called it Jam On's Revenge because they were Jam On Productions. Joe Webb, even, he didn't even get the not to say he's to blame, but ultimately it was pressed with the wrong title, Jam On Revenge. This song blew up. This song was massive in a regional environment. Well, Joe Webb couldn't handle it. If you can't keep up with the number of orders from the distributor, if you can't report back to the manufacturer and pay the manufacturer, you got to send it somewhere. So he called what he thought was the biggest man in the industry he was connected with, who had some intelligence to handle this. That was Henry Stone, the Jupiter of Miami music. So he calls Henry Stone and says, "Listen, I got this group named Newcleus. Can you take this off my hands? I don't know what to do here. I can't handle it. Too many records." Henry Stone doesn't say no to a hit record. So he signed up Newcleus. Now, what really needs to be expressed here is Henry Stone went out of business in 1981. We're talking about a record in 1982, 1983. How did Henry Stone get back into business in rubble that was the Miami music scene after the drug and the mob thing and everything else fell and Wall Street Journal and 60 Minutes pulled the plug on this independent industry? He reached out to Morris Levy, and Morris Levy bought the TK catalog, which is worth an incredible amount of money. Casey and the Sunshine Band, Little Beaver, Timmy Thomas, Gwen McCrae, that's worth a lot of money. And when he took control of that catalog, he gave Henry Stone an outlet. I will own and operate something called Sunnyview. If you look at the bottom of Sunnyview, it says New York. That's where Morris Levy lived. Technically, Sunnyview is the name of Morris Levy's ranch in upstate New York, but it was ran by Henry Stone in Miami. Now, this causes a lot of confusion amongst record collectors, but that's not music history. In music history, Henry Stone is one of the major cogs that reaches back decades. 1948 is when he set up in Miami, and he reaches back before that. So at the end of the day, Henry Stone's a major powerhouse no matter what. So for his takeover of Newcleus with Jam On's Revenge, the next record that Newcleus puts out is positioned to be a massive hit. And that happened in 1984. But before that, Henry Stone was still taking shots locally. And he put out a song called E.T.'s Boogie. Why would he do that? Planet Rock was a big hit. As a distributor, who's more positioned to know the power of a hit record? A distributor buys product from a label, gives the label time to market it. If the product doesn't sell, he sends it back to the label. Well, if product doesn't go back to the label, you got a hit. So Henry Stone knows the formula of a hit from monitoring that. So this electro thing with Planet Rock was a major hit. So time to cash in. Now let Newcleus develop their product. Let's continue the Miami formula. Now I don't know who did the production. It's a bit of a mystery. But E.T.'s Boogie came out in '82. It's theorized that Joe Galdo, the drummer from the disco band Foxy, who signed to TK, may have had a hand in it. It's presumed Larry Dermer, one of the great Miami electro innovators, first pioneers, first guys in the scene, may have had a hand in it. Freddie Stonewall, Blowfly's engineer. He engineered all the Clarence Reed Blowfly projects up to a certain point. May have had a hand in it. Regardless, Henry Stone released on Sunnyview, backed by Morris Levy of the Mob, this song, E.T.'s Boogie, credited to the extras. Now this song may sound obscure, but if you know the Busta Rhymes hit Dangerous, that's all it is. He's rapping over E.T.'s Boogie, sampled and slowed down. It's been a staple of hip hop records for decades upon decades. Now, with Henry's takeover of Newcleus, they release Newcleus's projects, and Newcleus had something in the works I think no one was really prepared for. Specifically, Jam On It. Jam On Productions. Jam On It. What could we say about a record of that caliber, that magnitude? If you were to poll hip-hop fans about their favorite records of electro, how many would step forward and put Jam On in the top 5? It's an incalculable, which tells you, first of all, the power of Henry Stone. Second of all, the power of Newcleus as a creative act, a family, a band. They had a live drummer in their band, live bass player in their band. How many hip-hop acts could say that before Stetsasonic and the Roots? They were the one, which changes everything in Miami music history. They put out Computer Age, Push the Button, the song that was held back for 2 years. Finally hits the market and still succeeds 2 years in the vaults. So Jam On It really puts a peg in the capabilities of Miami urban music in the 1980s, despite the rubble of what happened in the 1970s fallout.